Hi, my name is Juliana, and I'm going to give you a tour of the Boys and Girls Club of Thurston County. And this is our blue gym, and as you can see, we're having assembly and splitting up the groups. This is Emily, one of our staff, and she's doing the loft. That's Emily, like I already said.
Hello. Are you the host of a new TV show?
I'm tour.
We're all on
Oh,
TV.
you're a celebrity.
And this.
When we lived in Los Angeles, I was in grade school, and there was a Boys and Girls Club nearby, and I attended that Boys and Girls Club for a couple of years, and then as I got out of the Ford business, I got thinking about why there wasn't a Boys and Girls Club in Thurston County, and decided that we should have one.
I was one of Steve's first recruits on the board. In fact, Steve and I are the only two of the originals left on the board of the Boys and Girls Club. So yeah, when he started, he called me in 2000, I think it was, and said, hey, I want to do this. We need it. We're one of the communities in the country that doesn't have Boys and Girls Clubs, and we need it, and would you help? And I said, sure.
I became a board member about 8 years ago. You know, through Steve, I got to know more about Boys and Girls Club and the good that they could do for the community and for our young people.
One of the main reasons that we got involved with the Boys and Girls Club was the fact that there's such a high dropout rate throughout the country for students dropping out of high school, that our philosophy is if you drop out of high school at 14 or 15 years old, you don't have a very bright future. I just remember when I was in high school, I probably could name the one person who dropped out of high school during my 3 years in high school. Now, I mean, it's like hundreds of kids that drop out of high school at every high school across the country. So to me, that's pretty scary. I think this country has enough problems without losing that talent. I mean, we're losing that talent and also creating at the same time a giant liability for the country, because that percentage of kids, they're going to be in social services somewhere.
And so many of our kids are at risk. They're kids that are from broken homes, single family, and that sort of thing. And you know, they wouldn't be home doing homework and that sort of thing after school if it weren't for us. One of the really good things we do, we have this program called Power Hour, which is homework hour, and they can get help from staff and that sort of thing, but they have to do homework.
The hours between 3 and 8 p.m. are the hours that kids are most likely to get involved in drug use, tobacco use, alcohol use. It's when most teenage pregnancies occur. It's when most juvenile crime occurs. Those are the sort of the three big pieces that we're out there when it comes to prevention, or trying to create an atmosphere where kids can be engaged positively.
The budget for Boys and Girls Club is in the vicinity of $1.5 million a year. That's about what it is, and it costs anywhere from $500 to $600 a person, a child, to help them. And so it's expensive, but it's so worth it. I mean, we really mentor these kids. We don't babysit them, we mentor them.
I mean, the fact that we have 4 clubs operating now, we've just been in existence for 9 years. And we've done that in a sustainable way where, you know, sometimes it's easy to just open doors and say, oh, we're open. But to get the club in such a strong position, get the organization in a strong position in such a small amount of time, a short period of time, is remarkable. And that's because we have business leaders who are savvy about making sure we're doing the right things. People like Steve help us make the right business decisions and help us open doors to the community so that we're sustainable.
Since then, we've built the clubs in Tumwater and in Rochester and in Lacey, and in the fall of '09, we were able to open up a satellite club in Jefferson Middle School.
Plan is, and the hope is, that we're going to build a new club from the ground up on Olympia's west side to serve the capital city and serve the kids of Olympia.
And I think now that there's over 500 children each day that go to Boys and Girls Club, and that's a tremendous asset. And it really just takes an individual in a community to start a Boys and Girls Club, and he was the guy.
There aren't a lot of excuses not to do something like that, other than, do I really have what it takes in myself to do that?
You know, there are so many people in this world that are good starters, they have good ideas and they like to start things. The really hard thing to do is stick in with them and make them happen over time. And Steve does that.
This is my buddy, Sarah. Hello. Whoa. Say it loud. That's Michaela, that's Alex, that's Tasty, that's Regan, that's Sarah, this is Shay, that's Mason, that's Sam, that's Eddie, that's Jesse, that's Jonathan.
And if you talk to Boys and Girls Club kids that are grown up, people that are adults, many of them will say, like a high percentage will say, that it saved their life.
Well, you know, that's truly the rewarding thing about working with Boys and Girls Club and working with any young kids, is that maybe in 10 or 20 years they're going to come back and they're going to shake your hand and they're going to say, Mike, or whatever your name is, and they're going to say, you know, you really helped me, set me on the right path.
I'm the fourth generation of my family to live in this community, and I think my family, my children and my grandchildren will be here a long time after I'm not here anymore. So we want to make this community a better place. There are a lot of needs in this community, but I think a lot of them are focused around our future leaders, and those are the kids.
I mean, he was a guy who went to the clubs as a kid, and he saw that those positive adult relationships can have such a strong effect on kids' lives, and wanted to make that a reality for kids here in Thurston County. And you know, that vision and that leadership were really the things that helped spurred us on and get us started and moving along pretty well.
He was able to get in his early years, and now he's able to give, and I think that's very important for all of us.
Yeah, I don't want him to feel too good about it. I told you about the lemon Ford that he sold me, so I bring that up once in a while. But he's still trying to sell me a Harley, and he's never going to do that because I have too many metal parts already. But
we see customers in here a lot more often than we saw them at Ford. We see a lot of our customers come in here every day. They come into a Harley shop every day, and usually come into your car dealership, kind of like when you go to your dentist. I mean, only when you have to.